Yo, K-kunn here. Today I'll show you how to get these polys for your pulls for Caesar, Bernice, or maybe you're saving up for Yanagi, Lighter, or maybe some future characters in the new game mode called Blitz. So we're going to set it at 9, but if it's too hard for you, just go with 8 because that's where the Polychromes reward ends at. But I feel like if you have 1 DPS heavily invested, you can clear up to 8k to 8.5k points, that's pretty much it. Though you might have a problem with the last 2 difficulties. From playing it, you'll have like a similar experience but it will take longer and the enemies will hit harder. So let's get into the run and I'll explain my thought process and some tips along the way. So going into the run, my objective was getting some resonance for the dual set or the stunner set that deals more damage if the enemies are stunned, and getting the ice resonance, which is obvious because I'm doing the mono ice team. If the shuttlecock from the dodge set shows up, it's always a no-brainer to get it cause bullet time / slow time is OP, and in the 6th debuff you'll consume 1 assist points when you defensive assist or parry the enemies, so dodging will be your best friend, and if any defensive resonance shows up, I'll pick them up if there's nothing better. So the first group of enemies is easy, nothing to comment about, but when you enter the second stage, this is where it gets a little tricky if you're not paying attention like me. So the 3rd debuff states that elites no longer display a red and gold flash indicators to dodge or parry an attack, so you might want to pay attention and learn the enemy's moveset, which is cool that they did that. It gives us a reason to actually pay attention and learn the enemy's attacks and not think these guys are just like HP sponges. So if you're not confident in parrying the enemies, your safest bet is to just dodge and hopefully you'll get the shuttlecock at the start of your run, which will trivialize a lot of mechanics as long as you're paying attention. So the main tips of this video are pay attention to the enemies, dodge and weave, use your assist points sparingly, get the shuttlecock, and subscribe to the channel for more clear guide contents for your polychromes and help me stay in the basement. Thank you. Now on to the stage where you fight the big boss. So we can see here we get the Giga Robot with his shooter minion. So I'd always prioritize the weakling first since they are easy to kill and stun compared to the boss. From playing Blitz, the combinations I know are the Albino Dog and Dullahan. Another one is like a similar one, which is like the robots and a heavily armored laser beam dude who shoots missiles and throws grenades at you. Shadow Jane Doe with the melee dude, this one's probably the most difficult one because it's a new enemy type, so again, dodge and weave. Another thing I want to point out is if you're using Jane Doe on this boss, brace yourself because it's going to take a bit to kill the robot enemies because they're resistant to physical. Your anomaly buildup will take a bit longer and your Jane Doe damage will decrease, but if you have like her at M6 and R5, bro, you're just playing with your wallet at that point. Why the heck are you even watching a guide if you have her at M6? Next up is the second area. If you can pass this area, it's pretty much a home run. So a similar pattern to the first area, you will fight an elite, after that a combination of 2 elite enemies, and I feel like they have revamped the melee corrupted's moveset because he didn't block before and parry before, so keep an eye on that. Even the corrupted shotgun guy as well, so just be aware of that. And the last one will be your weekly bosses, except for the ballerina twins. I've only encountered the butcher, the robot spider, and the biker ethereal dude, which is right now, in my opinion, one of the sickest design boss in ZZZ. So I'm going to delve into the biker dude boss since I feel like we've already fought the other 2 a bunch of times and not a lot of people understand his attack pattern, so let's break it down. I mean like the movesets, his movesets. And I switched team here because for the life of God, I keep getting the freaking butcher and robot spider every time I do it with my Allen team. And this one footage happens to be with Jane, so it is what it is. So in the first phase, what he does is ride his sick motorcycle and whips you like a naughty boy that you are. He repositions himself from time to time, so just chase him. He does a wheelie and slams the front wheel of his bike onto you. I feel like this is an attack from Inferno Rider from Wuwa. Then I think he follows that up with the circular laser beam attack, so I would advise to save off your second dodge. And if you're playing Jane, I guess you can panic dodge with her since you can dodge 3 times with her, so yeah. And note that the laser attacks comes in randomly, so just pay attention and you'll be good. Next up, he charges up and rams you with his back. Just look at the flashes or listen to the pinging SFX of an incoming attack. He also does a front wheelie and slams the back of his bike. And from what I've experienced, these are the attacks I've witnessed in his first phase, so on to his second phase. Now if he starts glowing blue, back away because he'll slam his bike to the ground and turn it into a hammer hammer and a sword, which is something out of like a Trigger anime, which is pretty cool. Now when he swings the hammer and slams it to the ground, he'll charge it up and do a big fat explosion, which can catch you off guard, but there's a good indicator for this move. Rather than a red flash, it will be a star-shaped indicator. When you see this, it will be a good indicator to dodge, though the clip says otherwise. For some reason I had like a major skill issue this day. Now after that, he'll do 5 consecutive swings with his bike hammer, so if you're skilled at dodging with Jane, this will be a good time to build up your passion stream or maintain your passion state. Then he does some quick swipes with his sword, so bro's probably dizzy here after the explosion and hammer swings that he didn't notice I was behind him. So he did notice I was behind him and he did a back swing with his hammer to create some distance. He charges forward and swings his hammer, but again I don't know why bro keeps whiffing his swings. He misses his attacks more than me when I'm playing Black Myth Wukong. So again, whenever he glows blue, that's an indicator to yoink yourself out of the picture. He'll do his Omega Explosive Slam attack, then follows it up with another one towards your direction. So my tip after the big final explosion is to run towards him and dodge under him. So after that, he'll just do the same moveset, so the dodge window here is pretty generous. So the only time it will hit you is if you have like boomer reactions like me or you're playing on mobile. So leave a comment down below if I missed something here. So with that, the only thing worth mentioning when you fight Nineveh, the hot mommy dummy ethereal, is when she transitions into her last phase when she spawns her tentacles. So you don't need to kill all of them, you can probably leave like 3 to 2 bunches from what I remembered, so that will help with getting out of that bullet hell, man. So that's everything I've gathered and experienced in the new game mode. The one thing is, I want them to let us switch our party or characters at any time and have an indicator of what enemy is going to appear in the next phase, so we can prep our next team and it won't take like 10 years when I could have finished this boss in like 2 minutes with my other team. I'm saying this because HSR has this feature in their game mode Divergent Universe, so maybe the developers will have their listened moment and implement this in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Subscribe so I can stay in the basement, like for the algorithm, and leave down in the comments, is the new game mode hard but easy? What features, updates, or QOLs you want for this new game mode? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye!